הדגל שלי כחול ולבן כמו הים והמדבר.
Hey everyone, Shlomo Brody here, getting ready to celebrate Yom Ha-Atzma'ut. I want to briefly discuss today how it is that the religious Zionist community has come to say Hallel with a bracha on Yom Ha-Atzma'ut, even though many religious Zionist poskim, certainly of the previous generation, said that Hallel should be recited, but without a bracha. We all agree that we have to give thanks and praise to God for the salvation of the state of Israel, but the question was, should we also add Hallel with a bracha, which is a significant liturgical innovation? And many religious Zionist poskim said no. They said that, well, maybe it wasn't a full-fledged nes nigla, maybe not all of the Jewish community was redeemed by the miracle of the state of Israel. We also have many spiritual pitfalls, we have many military challenges. For all those reasons, we don't say a bracha. And that was the original psak of the Rabbanut HaRashit in the early years of the state. Many pushed back against this argument, Rav Meshulam Rata, Rav Shlomo Goren, and others, who basically argued that this was clearly a full-fledged miracle. Zionists believe that the state of Israel benefits all the Jewish people, not just those living in the land of Israel. And while there are many pitfalls in the state of Israel today, many challenges, spiritual, military, and economic, nonetheless, this is still an incredible accomplishment and achievement. Perhaps most importantly, they argue that while we might be conservative about making liturgical innovations to our siddur, ultimately, we cannot just commemorate Yom Ha-Atzma'ut by waving flags. We have to do something substantive in the Beit Knesset and say that HaKadosh Baruch Hu thanks for all that he's done for us. But it was only after Rav Goren became the chief rabbi did the Rabbanut HaRashit officially institute Hallel with a bracha. It was a controversial move and a controversial political act since Rav Goren held the vote without his Sephardic counterpart, Rav Ovadia Yosef. Some religious Zionist rabbis, like Rav Tzvi Yehuda Kook, adopted that protocol, but many others, including his successors, Rav Ram Shapiro, Shmuel Eliyahu, other figures like Rav Shaul Yisraeli, continued to oppose saying Hallel with a bracha. Nonetheless, if you look around today in religious Zionist shuls throughout Israel, you'll see that almost everyone says Hallel with a bracha. And these are even in shuls where the rabbis are students of Rabbanim and Poskim who oppose saying it with a bracha, including my own Rebbeim, Rav Amital and Rav Lichtenstein Zatzal. How did this happen? So I think there are two factors that went into play. Part of it was that there are increased amount of reports and understandings that maybe the initial ruling of the Rabbanut HaRashit by Rav Uziel and by Rav Herzog to not say Hallel with a bracha was influenced by considerations of pressure from outside factors like Haredi rabbis who thought this was too radical. And in order to keep the peace, so to speak, they decided to say, well, we'll have Hallel, but without a bracha. In fact, Rav Shmuel Katz, in a very lengthy essay on this topic, has shown how many rabbis at the time period, Rav Unterman, Rav Zevin, the Nazir of David HaKohen, and others, regretted that the Rabbanut HaRashit did not come out with a stronger statement at the time, say Hallel with a bracha. But I think ultimately what's happened is that the people, the masses, have decided for themselves to make the deciding vote in this situation. Meaning, there might be a machloket poskim, a disagreement between the great rabbis, all of whom are committed Zionists, all of whom are very committed to this idea, and then basically the people have decided, well, you guys might disagree on this topic, but we're going to decide the vote on this issue by stating that we are going to say Hallel with a bracha. And the question is why? Why is this so important to people to say Hallel with a bracha? And I think if this comes back to the point I was making earlier, if you truly believe and are educated to believe that the state of Israel is somehow a great event, it's not just a local miracle, but somehow is a miraculous moment in the history of the Jewish people, how can you not say Hallel with a bracha on that occasion? So in my mind, this is a great example of a case where you might have a machloket poskim, a disagreement amongst rabbis about what practice should be followed, and the masses have delivered the final vote by asserting with their feet and their voices that this is too important of an occasion for us to not make this a full-fledged ritual. And without saying a bracha, it just doesn't feel like the real thing. So if you find yourselves in a shul where they don't say Hallel with a bracha, know and appreciate the fact that you're following the position of many great Zionist rabbis. And if you do find yourself in a shul, as most do in the state of Israel today, where they do say Hallel with a bracha, know that you're following the position not only of a bunch of great rabbis, but also the masses of religious Zionists in the state of Israel. Yom Ha-Atzma'ut Sameach.